Hello, my name is Gene Fritz. I'm a high school culinary arts and hospitality management teacher at Battleground High School in Battleground, Washington. I teach students from grades 9 through 12. My program is all about developing life skills, but more importantly, also preparing students for working in the restaurant and food service industry. And I've had a unique relationship with Rouxbe. I love the Rouxbe platform, and I've been working with Rouxbe mostly at the post-secondary level. I administrated a number of culinary arts programs in the Pacific Northwest and utilized Rouxbe for students as a core support to our curriculum. I believe Rouxbe is a more flexible and accommodating to student learning styles platform than simply putting a textbook in front of students. And the dynamic aspects of the Rouxbe content, video, small amount of reading, but reading with rigor, and then the engaged exercises, sorting, and otherwise that are embedded provide value to the student learning experience, make it more exciting. I know that I ask the question at the end of every semester, would you prefer to have a textbook or an online platform like Rouxbe? And 98% of my student learners would prefer the online platform. The other thing that I really enjoy about Rouxbe is the quality of the content. I like that you don't really have a focus on the teacher standing in front of you, and you don't have a focus on sort of the chef ego, but the content is focused on the technique. And the cameras are looking at the item in the pan, they're showing you the cooking process, they're showing you a nice, detailed, high quality image and video of the cooking process or knife skills process, whatever it might be. And I enjoy the fact that it's all about technique and the focus is on that exchange of and transfer of heat and the transformation that takes place in the cooking process. Absolutely love that. One of the other aspects that I really enjoy about Rouxbe is that it's 24/7. So my students, if they are absent and miss an assignment, they can access this at their own leisure, conveniently, wherever they might be, even on their personal devices versus we're a one-to-one district. And so they do have, my students have, each one has a Chromebook. And so they use those Chromebooks to access Rouxbe. But I love the fact that they can also use a personal device. They could be coming into school with a parent driving and be watching the Rouxbe platform on their phone. So that flexibility and accessibility is super important to me. And the last thing I'd say is the adaptability. As you can see on the screen, I've got the Rouxbe platform open on the left as an administrator. It's really easy for me to navigate, to be able to select, what course I want to look at. And I've got my classes here, and I can go in, look at the students, look at the last time they accessed the platform, and really get a sense of their progress in the course, quickly be able to access the grade that they received on a particular assessment. It's really dynamic and easy for me to work with. The other thing on the other half of the screen that I wanted to share was it's not too hard. It's easy to connect to other LMS systems, and so I don't use Rouxbe as an all-in-one LMS. Obviously, my district, like many, have their own learning management system. We utilize Google Classroom here in Battleground Public Schools, and so on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see I simply embed a link to the Rouxbe lesson, and then the students will open the lesson and open up the task and complete and work their way through the lesson, watching the videos, reading the text, and getting exposed to the content. Love the pre-test and post-test. Always see good progress with student learning as it relates to having a pre-test and post-test and seeing that knowledge being developed and then reinforced with the skill that they're doing in my classroom. The last thing I'll say is you can export the content in Rouxbe, easily. It's very simple, just at the click of a button to be able to pull out the data that you need. For me, I have the students self-report, and I do random verification of it. But I have the students in Google Classroom open up a student learning assessment template, and they import a screenshot here of the score that they received, and then they input the final score here. So makes it real easy for me to simply verify. You can see they import the screenshot with the score that I can then input into the gradebook really easily. And they use this to import the images here on the top slide. So even if you can export and import, if your system works like that, for me, it's easier for the students to self-report and trust that process, and then do some verification as needed. So again, I find Ruby to be convenient. I find it to be accessible. I find it to be accommodating a diversity of student learning styles. My students prefer an online platform over reading a printed textbook, and Ruby's been a great solution both at the post-secondary level and at the high school level. I've enjoyed using it, and believe and highly recommend it to be used in other high school classrooms, really around the nation and around the globe. So if you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'd love to answer more questions about how I use Ruby in the classroom and how it might be able to help you better leverage the platform in your classroom. Thanks so much, and I appreciate the opportunity to share.